Ladies and gentlemen, this is part two of how to guard and protect your vision. We got that number one, we must know our source. Number two, we must know our purpose. Number three, we must know our resources for us to guard and protect our vision. Then point number four, we must know our principle. I will summarize them, though I have discussed them in part one, but I will summarize them so that we may understand this. Because we have 10 principles, but in part one I have just discussed three of them, which is we must know our source for us to guard our vision. We must know our source. The term source there means that you must know where you came from, because when you don't know where you came from, you will not probably understand who you are, and you will not maximize your potential. You must first of all know where you came from. When you know where you came from, you will probably understand where you came from, and you are going to maximize your potential, brothers and sisters. So we get that God told us in Psalm chapter 111 verse 10, he said that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Those who follow his precepts has a good understanding. What does that mean? It means that when you walk on his path, when you obey his commands and decrees, when you do things the way he wants them to be done, we are going to enjoy the privileges of being in this kingdom, and we are going to maximize our full potential. Then point number two, we got that for us to guard and protect our vision, we must know our purpose. The term purpose there means you must understand, you must probably understand the reason why you exist. You must know that you are not just here just to make a living, but you are here to make a difference in the world. What do I mean by that? You must know that you did not come to the planet Earth just to go to school, get a job, pay your bills while struggling, then you die average people. But you must probably understand that you came to the planet Earth with a gift and talent inside you, which you are supposed to discover. Because God knows that, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And this plan to give you hope in the future, I can only give you when you delight yourself on me. You can only discover who you are when you delight yourself on the Lord, and the Lord is going to give you the desires of your heart. And those desires of your heart is what he said that when you make your plans according to those desires of your heart, I am going to make sure that the plans that you've given me, I'm going to make sure that they come to their fulfillment, or I'm going to make sure that your plans come to their successful. He told us this because he knows he is the author of our life. He is not the author of confusion, but he's the author of our life, and he knows the plans that he has for our life. He knows that in this planet Earth, we came in this planet Earth with gifts and talents, and those gifts and talents we can only know them when we delight ourselves on him. Again, point number three, we got that for us to guard and protect our vision, we must know our resources. The term resources there means that we must know that the thing that God has given us, God does not give us those things so that we can turn to them and worship them. But He gave us those things so that those things we can use them to maximize our full potential. And I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, the majority has fallen under this category because we turn to the resources that God has given us and we are worshiping them. That is what I'm talking about, is the people who engage themselves in worshiping idolatry, like we make a kind of animals. We worship animals, we worship human beings, we worship the things of the world. Those are what we call idolatry. And that is happening because Satan came to our life to cut us off from our source. When Satan cut you off from your source, you will not know where you came from, and you will not know even who you are. So you will just turn to the things that God has given you to fulfill or to function in the planet Earth. You will use them to worship them. So I want you to ask yourself a question. By the time that you turn to and you turn and worship animals, that means because God says that in Genesis chapter 1 verse 26, he said that he made us in his own image and his likeness. By the time you turn to this animal and you worship them, ask yourself if you are created in animals' images or animal characters, brothers and sisters. Ask yourself that question, then you can answer it. That is why we are told that for us to maximize our potential, we must know our source, we must know our purpose, and we must know the resources. We must recognize the resources that God has given us so that we can maximize or we can do whatever that He has placed in our care, under our care. Again, point number 4, that will lead us to point number 4, which says that we must know our principles. The principles are the laws that we are supposed to live by. These are the principles, these are the laws that God put in our life so that we can live by them. Then we can discover who we are and maximize it under the laws of limitation. Without laws of limitation, you cannot maximize your potential. That is the reason why God put these laws of limitation so that you can live by them for you to maximize yourself. I want you again to know that in Isaiah chapter 55, God told us that my thoughts are not like your thoughts. My thoughts are higher than yours, like the heavens is higher than the earth. So the way God thinks is not the way we think. So when God told us not to engage in certain kind of acts, God knows the reason why He's telling us that. He's telling us those things so that He can protect and guard our life for us to maximize our potential. But Satan, when Satan comes to our life, Satan, that's why even he was called a thief. He was called a thief because he came to our lives to steal our potential. He came to our life to take what God has put inside us so that God's glory cannot be seen inside us. For us to guard and protect our potential, we must know the principles that we are supposed to live by for us to maximize our potential. Then that is going to lead us to point number 5, which says that we must know, maintain the right environment. The term maintaining the right environment there means the kind of movies or the kind of the friends that you will associate with. When you don't associate with the right friends, these kind of people are going to make your dreams or vision. They are going to destroy your visions and dreams, and you will not maximize your potential. So God wants us to associate only with the people who take us to our destiny. God wants us to look for friends who only take us to our destiny, who allow us to become the kind of the people that God wants us to be. God wants you to watch movies or read books that only take you to your destiny. Maintain the right environment so that you can know or you can maximize your full potential, brothers and sisters. And that is why, again, he told us in Romans chapter 8, verse 5, he said that those who live according to sinful nature has their mind set on that what nature desires. And those who live according to the Spirit of God has their mind set on that what nature or that Spirit desires. And again, he went further in verse 6 and he said that the mind which is being controlled by the sinful by sinful acts are full of death, is death. But the mind which is being controlled by the Spirit of God is full of life and peace. I will repeat, that is Romans chapter 8, verse 5 and 6. He says that those who live according to sinful nature has their mind set on on what those acts desire, or nature that nature desires. And those who live according to the Spirit of God has their mind set on what the Spirit of God desires. The spirit of a sinful man is death, and of the spirit that is being controlled by God's spirit is full of life and peace. So God is trying to tell us that when we live according to the sinful nature, we must know that we are not going to maximize or fulfill our potential here on earth, because we will only do what that kind of nature, what kind of act desires. And that is why you get that people who engage themselves in, for example, sexual immoralities, lesbianism, gayism, prostitution, the kind of movies that these people watch are the kind of movies only that feed them those kind or that sinful nature desires. They will only, those are the things that they can get their pleasure on watching. The kind of friends that they will allow in their life are the kind of friends who are like them. Those are the kind that spirit, old nature desires. And the people who live according to God's spirit, God is going to bring the people who take you to do your destiny. You will only recognize people who take you to your destiny. You will only watch movies that take you to your destiny. And that will lead us to point number 6, which says cultivate and feed your vision. When you have a vision for your life, you are supposed to only cultivate or only allow friends who are going to feed you or who are going to take you to your destiny. Don't allow, just allow anybody to come to your life. Don't allow people who are coming, who are doing nothing to come to your life to help you or to tell you what you can do and the things that you cannot do. Remember, brothers and sisters, that there are the kind of people that you will face in life. These are the kind of people who are they they like to quarrel, or they like to murmur, or they like to ridicule people, petty quarrels. These are the kind of people that God wants you to avoid, because these are the kind of people that when you allow to come to our life, they will infect you with their acts, and you will not maximize your potential. They will infect you with their petty quarrels, and they are going to destroy what you call your self-esteem. So you are supposed to recognize this kind of people, then you avoid them. Just be with the people who take you to your destiny so that you can guide and protect your vision. Just look or just watch movies that take you to your destiny. Just read books that take you to your destiny. By the time you are watching movies that take you to your destiny, or you buy a book that take you to your destiny, you are feeding that vision, and that is what you are going to maximize. Live according to the pattern of that gift that God has put inside you. And that is the same reason why he told us in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, that do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind, and you will be able to know what God's will is in your life. By the time you live according to the pattern of the world, you will not maximize your potential, because you will only live according to the world standard. But by the time you live according to the pattern of your vision, you are going to fulfill the term pattern there means habit. You make it be habit by feeding it your vision each and every day. By the time by the time you're going to the local club to drink with friends, take that time to do something that can bring value to your life. By the time that you are take a time to go and gossip or other people, take that time to do something worthwhile that can bring value to your life. Feed your vision, then you will cultivate what you feed on. That will lead us to point number 8, point number 7, I mean, which says share your vision. Do you know that the majority of people have something inside them, but they don't want to share it with other people because of selfishness? Selfishness is what makes us not to share what we have with other people. There are some people who God has given them the gift of sharing with others. The more you share with others, the more you are being blessed. But the majority of us don't understand that. People have different gifts. There are people who have the gift of giving. There are people who have gift of preaching. There are people who have gift of prophesying. There are people who have gift of many kind of gifts. We have different kinds of gifts. And your gift that God put inside you, God put it inside you so that you can share it with other people for you to be blessed. Remember, Abraham was told by God that I will bless you and all the nation will be blessed through you. That means people you bless will be blessed. People you curse will be cursed. God said that I will curse those who curse you and I will bless those who bless you. That means when Abraham blessed people, these people get blessed. So people get blessing through Abraham. So by the time when God give you that a certain gift and you get hold on that gift, you don't want to share it. That means you are destroying that potential that is inside you, and the world cannot see God's glory through you. By the time you are sharing what you have, God is giving you, God is blessing you. You are going to be blessed abundantly. That is why we are being told that my God will supply all your needs according to his glorious riches. Because the blessing that you are maximize your potential. God is going to make sure that he bless you abundantly so that you can bless other people. When you are, for example, you are given a gift of giving, the more you don't want to share with others, the more you are blocking your blessings. But the more you give, the more God will give you more. I have never seen anyone who has the gift of giving, or people who give to the needy. This person cannot go angry. God will open doors in each and every way because this person is blessed in that area. That is where your gift or your vision that God put inside you, that is the thing that God is going to bless you with. By the time that you hold into that, you are blocking your blessing from God. So we must share for us to protect or guard our potential that God put inside us. Don't be like